So what do you do when you get to the end of a row? Because then you have to turn around and go back. So we're going to finish this last little foundation chain right here. Again, in, loop a yarn over, you need 2 on. Okay. Now we have to create something called a turning chain. And how many loops you make in your chain is going to depend on what stitch you're using. So for the single crochet, we're just going to use 1 turning chain. So just like we did with the foundation chain, we yarn over and pull through. And there's that one little V. So kind of recognize it from the first part. And then we're going to flip our work so that it's almost like having that long piece of yarn going in that one direction, but now we're going to start working into these top stitches here. Okay, so now we're going to look and we can recognize our stitches by those V's. So there's the V, 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 and we should have 10. Sometimes the last stitch is a little weird and hard to see, but we should have 10. And we've turned our work. We have 1 turning chain on here, and we're going to do the same thing, but you can kind of see that first stitch right there, and it's kind of got a little hole, and we're going to again hook in front. We're going to push through both, so you see how we have both of those loops and the hook is going underneath, right? And we're going to yarn over and pull through, and ta-da, look, we have our loops again on our hook. Then we pull again and through, and that is our second crochet chain. Okay, so now we find that loop. See, there's the V, and you can kind of see that it could go right there, and we're going to go through both of them. Now later you'll learn that you can go through the front or the back one to create different patterns, but right now we're just going to go through both, which is the basic stitch. So we pull through and pull through. So there's our second, and you can see the bottom row gets a little loose. You can tighten up your slip knot if you want. And then again, we're going to go through the next stitch right here. So you can see those 2, yarn over, pull through, and now we have those 2 loops. And through, and there's your stitch. So again, you're finding that little space that's underneath these 2 V's. Right. There we go. Right, and then we're yarning over, catching that and pulling it through. There's our 2. Okay, so now we're kind of building, and when I get to the end of this, I'll show you again. Now we're at the end of that second row, and you can see that there's kind of looks a little funky down at the end, but you can see we have a V right here, at least one. So we're going to go ahead and put that through, again through that V, and pull through. So we have those 2. Okay. Now, looks a little strange, but you can kind of see that there's sort of a little V at the end. There's this tiny little space. You might have to pull it a little bit, but then you can just go through that little hole. Again, you might have to push it a little bit. Hook, bring it through, and one last one. Okay, so it might look a little funky, but you should still have 10. Right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then again, doing a turning chain. You just need one for a single crochet. Turn your work, and in that first stitch, so I know with the foundation chain that we skipped one. Think of that as like a turning chain at the very beginning. So then here we go under 2, and through, again, 2, and through. Okay, so then you're just going to keep repeating that, and soon you'll start to see a pattern emerging, right? And I know the ends can be a little weird, but eventually it'll start to take shape. And you can make scarves, you can make purses, you can make all sorts of things with a single crochet. And that little book that I gave you has a whole bunch of different stuff just based on a single crochet. But there are many, many more stitches that you can learn, and you will learn them. So just for now, sticking with the single crochet and maybe a double, which I am going to show you.